Welcome back. A Lucknow CBI court in a landmark ruling has acquitted all 32 accused in the 1992 Babri demolition case, the so-called criminal conspiracy. The judge S.K. Yadav, who retires today, said the demolition was not pre-planned and there is no conclusive proof of a conspiracy to bring down the erstwhile Babri mosque. The court added that the demolition was a spur-of-the-moment incident. All 32 accused were instead trying to stop the mob from demolishing the Babri masjid. Among those acquitted, former Deputy Prime Minister L.K. Advani, BJP stalwarts Murli Manohar Joshi, Kalyan Singh, Uma Bharti and Vinay Khatiyar. Joining me now on our face-off today, Asauddin Owaisi, the leader of the MIM, the Hyderabad MP, joins me, a member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, and Sudhindra Kulkarni, former BJP National Executive Member and a close aide of L.K. Advani over the years. I appreciate both of you joining us. Let me come to Asauddin Owaisi first. Your first reaction to the verdict. How do you see this in the context of the long-running Babri Masjid Ram Janmabhoomi dispute? Do you see this as another step towards closure or not?
Rajdeep, it's a shocking judgment. It is a travesty of judgment, a travesty of justice. It is an erroneous judgment. And you know, when I heard that all of the accused were exonerated, I was shocked and numb. And let me also share with you, in 1992, I was a young man at that time. And at that time, when this shameful incident happened, I felt shame, humiliation, helplessness. That is the same feeling I'm feeling now after this judgment was given. And please understand that this whole 6 December assembly of this galaxy of Sangh leaders were there only because the Supreme Court had given them permission to hold a Kar Seva. And that affirmation and promise was given by Kalyan Singh government. Now to say that these people are not responsible, then who's responsible? I mean, what can you say? I mean, you know, the biggest gem on this judgment is the court, the honorable judge says in judgment that yes, insightful hate speech were made, but that cannot make them guilty, he says. He accepts those hate speech was made, but he says that cannot be made guilty. Now, in the charge sheet, it says that Kalyan Singh said to a witness which went to the court and said that rope construction par hai, destruction par nahi hai. That is why I feel that this is a black day for India's judiciary, because in the light of what Supreme Court said in this judgment, it said that calculated act of destruction. The Supreme Court said egregious violation rule of law. The Supreme Court said national shame. It's a national crime. No, all these accused are exonerated. Then who demolished Babri Masjid? Did people come from sky? Is it aliens come from sky, or somebody came from the ground and did a magic show, or all of them were hypnotized? Oh, for God's sake, what is this? What are you trying to sell the country? And how is it that you want me to accept it? I am of the opinion that Muslims of India since 1950 to 2020, in this particular matter of Babri Masjid, justice has not been done to us. We have been taken for right by various governments in power, including Congress, including Samajwadi, BSP, and now BJP. Where is the end? Where is the closure to this issue? Please tell me. How, what do I tell myself, my inner conscience, that who destroyed my masjid? Please tell me. I'm searching for answers. The whole people who believe in justice, in liberty, they are confused. They are shocked. I have spoken to many people, many Hindu friends of mine who are more secular, more neutral, who are apolitical. They are confused about this judgment.
I can sense the anger, Mr. Owaisi. Are you telling me that this verdict, therefore, will only open up new wounds among the Muslim community? Is that what you're telling me?
Rajdeep, not at all. Open up wounds. Rajdeep, it has opened up a more emotional wound, a shock to all of us. That how is it? Then who's responsible? Please tell me. I want to know from my countrymen. Please tell me who demolished the masjid then.
I'll tell
who
you
benefited from the demolition.
No. The court verdict says that there were Kar Sevaks, or the so-called faceless mob, who demolished the masjid, and the leaders can't be held responsible for the alleged spontaneous on-the-spur actions of this faceless mob. How do you respond?
Rajdeep, if that is the case, then tomorrow I will hold a protest in front of Prime Minister's 7 Racecourse Road home. And a huge crowd will assemble on the call of Asaduddin Owaisi. Now, if some violence happens over there, who will be blamed? Who will be booked under UAPA? Who will be languishing in the prison for years and years to come? It will be Asaduddin Owaisi. What kind of judgment is this? You are telling me that, and please understand, Rajdeep, on whose call were all those thousands of people had come over there? Please understand, Rajdeep, that the Babri Masjid was not a small hut. It was a building constructed on 1 acre of land. And it cannot be a spontaneous thing wherein you demolish a 1 acre building. You have to come prepared mentally. You have to plan for it. There are photographs of how training was done. There are photographs of car sevaks carrying, all those things which are required to demolish a masjid. And didn't BJP got the permission of Supreme Court? You had provoked the crowd. Wasn't it Sadhvi Ritambara was saying, ek dhakka aur do? Wasn't it Uma Bharti who was jumping into the lap of Murli Manohar Joshi, distributing sweets? And you had a smile on Advani's face. And Mr. Advani had the cheek to write in his book, the saddest day. No, it was not the saddest day. Till Advani lives, until he leaves this world, I hope he lives for 180 years, but he will be known for the fact that he was the person who led this agitation, and right in front of him, this masjid was demolished. And the travesty is that same accused was the Home Minister of this country in 98, from 99 to 2004. The icing on the cake is this government bestowed upon him the second highest civilian honor. What is the message you are sending? HRD ministry was headed by Murli Manohar Joshi. Cleaning of Ganga was headed by Uma Bharati. What is the message you are sending? You think that we are fools, that we cannot connect the dots and see what will happen?
Let me try and connect those dots with Sudhindra Kulkarni. You're hearing Asad Owaisi, and I can sense his anger and outrage, and it may well be completely legitimate given the nature of the verdict. Respond to that, Sudhindra Kulkarni, that the BJP leadership has got away with what happened on December 6, 1992, which the Supreme Court itself calls a criminal act. Mr. Kulkarni.
Rajdeep, I want to make 2 initial comments on today's verdict by the CBI court. And these comments may sound contradictory, but I have reasons to justify them. One, that the CBI court's verdict exonerating all the 32 accused and then saying that there was no conspiracy, no pre-planning, it was a spontaneous act, this verdict is deeply disappointing. My second comment is that as far as LK Advaniji is concerned, his acquittal is absolutely right. Now, let me elaborate. The Supreme Court, as Owaisi Saab very rightly said, the Supreme Court, in its judgment in November 2019, clearly stated that the demolition of the Babri Masjid was an act of illegality and an egregious violation of the rule of law. Mm-hmm. Now, the CBI court has come to a completely different conclusion. Mm-hmm. No conspiracy, no pre-planning. Anyone who knows anything about the Babri Masjid as it stood before 6 December 1992 knows that it was not a small structure. It couldn't have been pulled down in just 5 hours without pre-planning and meticulous pre-planning. Obviously, it was well planned and executed.
But you're saying it wasn't LK Advani
ruling, and
you're telling me, sir, just a minute. You're telling me LK Advani tried to prevent the demolition. You're telling me
absolutely.
Therefore, but then somebody was clearly involved in the pre-planning. We can't have LK Advani there, and surely a political leader who has led the Rath Yatra, who has created in a sense the mahal which leads to the demolition. Can he fully escape responsibility or accountability? Or indeed the other leaders at the time?
Rajdeep, here we are on the point of whether there was a conspiracy to demolish Babri Masjid.
Yes.
And I say with complete honesty and full confidence that he was not part of a conspiracy. I have worked with Advaniji since 1996. I am not in the BJP anymore, but I can say very clearly that he was not part of the conspiracy. In fact, Owaisi Saab said that there was a smile on his face. This is absolute lie. He was deeply disturbed. He said, it is the saddest day in my life. He was full of remorse that the commitment given by the BJP government led by Kalyan Singh could not be honored. In fact, even if you go back before 6th December, he had been making an appeal to the Muslim community, respect the sentiments of the Hindu community. For the Hindus, Ram Janmabhoomi is a matter of faith and a matter of deep faith. There is no equivalence between Babri Masjid and Ram Janmabhoomi.
Okay.
Now, had the Muslim community voluntarily respected the claim of the Hindu community and given up its claim on that disputed site, the history would have been different.
Let me take that. Let me take that.
Really come to.
Let me take that to Asad Owaisi. You believe
now,
that
this is where let me just make one point, Rajdeep.
Yes.
You know, India can survive and India can progress only if the majority community, that is the Hindu community, respects the sentiments of Muslims, and Muslims also respect the sentiments of Hindus. Now,
Okay.
there was a lot of intransigence. You know, we are
I
all
take your
aware
point.
of what kind of
I take your
campaign
point,
was
sir.
carried out.
I take your point. Let me take that to Asad
Against the
Owaisi.
Ram
How does
Janmabhoomi.
this,
And if
Mr. Owaisi then
Modi
play out?
government has come back with such a huge majority, there is somewhere a certain contribution made by this inflexible stand of the Muslim leaders. They
How
should
does
introspect.
this play out, Mr. Owaisi, then in the larger scheme of the Hindu-Muslim unity project? The belief that at the end of the day there's a Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb, is that under siege now? The very idea that Hindus and Muslims can coexist?
Rajiv, it's not a question of one judgment, but series of things which have been happening from 1990 onwards until 2020, and it will go on. The Hindutva project will not stop here. It will go on. And you mark my words, tomorrow someone will go to Supreme Court and challenge the 1990 Religious Places of Worship Act. And please don't call me a person who is creating unnecessary hype. A day will come when Mr. Modi can bring a bill in the parliament stating, oh, this Religious Place of Worship Act will remove Kashi and Mathura and will keep quiet on that. It only requires a momentum. It only requires dog whistle politics to send a signal because it suits BJP. BJP does not want people to question over them of how 8 crore migrant laborers lost their jobs in their unconstitutional planned lockdown. BJP does not, Prime Minister Modi does not want to answer that how is it that 2 crore people in India, salaried people have lost their jobs. This suits them. This agenda suits them. Let this Hindu-Muslim festering continue. Let these old wounds be open. You know, what happened 600, 800 years ago should happen in a constitutional democracy. And this judgment, what kind of judgment the Honorable Judge has given? I know that is why I feel that we must appeal against this judgment, and so that the real facts come out, and we should not be quiet on it.
No, you're saying you will therefore appeal against the judgment. Let me ask you though, the fact is the BJP today is a majority government. This is the same BJP which led this Ram Rath Yatra movement. There are those today who are saying they've been vindicated, that this in a way is a day of celebration. What will you say to them today, Mr. Owaisi?
I will tell them, shame on you. Shame on you. If you have any iota of humanity left, do some introspection. Hide your face, which is full of all these people who have lost their lives. And you are celebrating in the hope. And they are entrenched also by today's judgment. They are in this false hope that tomorrow Kashi and Mathura will take up. Please remember, we will not keep quiet. We are not those 1949 generation. If tomorrow you do something what you have done in Babri Masjid, we will not keep quiet. We will definitely protest. They are emboldened because this judgment has rewarded those culprits who were responsible for demolition of my masjid. That is why they are celebrating. That is why they are celebrating. Rajdeep, I have seen bricks of Babri Masjid being taken over as some sort of a World Cup victory. Mementos were taken. So this is their celebration. But it is high time that the people of India realize that you should not accept these celebrations. These are not celebrations. You are smiling on the death of justice. If you are celebrating, you are not celebrating, but you are celebrating on the deathbed of justice. This is not on. This cannot be allowed.
Let me leave it there. I've run out of time, but clearly today is not a day of celebration. It's a day of introspection. I think Sudhindra Kulkarni referred to the need for introspection on both sides to find a way perhaps for a new Hindu-Muslim compact. Sadly, perhaps this judgment doesn't make enough of an effort to achieve that. Has justice in a way been denied? Sudhindra Kulkarni, Asauddin Owaisi, appreciate your joining us. My take.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.